You're listening to the Morning Punch-In Show with RB and Jae, live and direct from more cities than an Instagram model's bio. Get ready for some boxing talk on the clock. Let's face it, you're not working and somebody's got to pay for the Wi-Fi.
Good morning, everybody. It is RB and Jae. We are back. This is the Morning Punch-In Show, the most unpredictable, honest, and authentic morning boxing talk show in the game. Today is Monday, February 20th, 2017. Our special guest today on Hotline Bling, we have two of those. We have boxing writer, reporter, and boxing connoisseur from FightNights.com, Jake Donovan, bringing us all the juice, all the tea from Cincinnati this weekend. And we also have boxer Hot Rod that'll be joining us a little later to give us his thoughts on the Marcus Browne versus Thomas Williams fight there. Let me properly introduce my partner in crime, the creator and founder of BadCulture.net and contributor for BlackSportsOnline.com, Jay LaBeouf. What's good, Jay?
Hey. We're back. We're back on a Monday. We've been gone for a while because we've been doing some other things, but we missed you all, so we are back to bring you what you need, what you want on a Monday, and that is the Morning Punch-In Show. So we're going to start off this morning with a hot question like we normally do, and today's hot question is, what could affect the outcome of the upcoming Brook-Spence fight more? Will it be Spence's inactivity or Brook's KO in the Triple G fight? We want to know your answer. Make sure you tweet RB and Jae your answer to that question. Use the hashtag TMPS, and we'll be reading your responses throughout the show. To give you guys a couple quick responses that we received so far, we got a response from @quit_crying who says, I think both are a concern, but I believe the KO is the bigger of the two. But I still think Brook wins. So shout out to Quit Crying. Saucy Esco says, the only effect in that fight will be Brook killing himself to make weight. So for those of you who forgot, he did go up to make weight to fight Golovkin and fell right on back down. And Israel Ortiz says Brook's speed will be the difference in the fight, and he'll win by unanimous decision. So shout out to Israel Ortiz. What you thinking, RB? Is it Brook? Is it Spence? What's going to be the difference in the fight?
I think this is going to be a really great fight. You've got a top fighter defending his title, and you've got a true number one contender who looks to be the future of our sport in Errol Spence. You know, Brook is a boxer, puncher. He's got a really good jab. Errol Spence can box, but he also can destroy. Every time he goes in there, you know, he's a really good boxer. He has great stamina, but he's mean. He wants to finish you. Errol, right. I think, fights at a really high rhythm. I think Kell Brook is a little bit at a slower rhythm. I do think Brook is going to have weight problems. I think he will struggle to make 147. But then again, Spence has to travel. He's got to go across the pond. You know, he's got to get acclimated to the food, the time, the weather, and all these things. Those things aren't easy. So, you know, can Brook slow Spence down? Can Spence control the fight? It's going to be really interesting. I think over the next few weeks we'll have to see how their camps are going and what their weights are looking like. And I like it. I think it's finally Spence getting his shot.
I agree. I love the fight. I'm glad that Spence is finally getting this opportunity. I was a little bothered by the fact that they kept him so inactive, but he's a young, strong kid. He doesn't look like he falls too far out of shape, but he has been spending some time being domesticated, got a new baby, spending time at home. And then you have Kell Brook, who also has been inactive since he was knocked out by Golovkin. The weight will be a struggle, but Kell doesn't have a history of coming in overweight, but it is something to contend with. It's a great fight. We're not going to give up our predictions now, but it's a fight we've been looking forward to. We've talked to Spence a couple times on the show, and you guys rocked out with us and checked it out. He wants the fight. We want the fight. So we're just looking forward to a good fight.
Yeah. Inactivity has been a killer recently in our sport, as you know, as well as like random matchmaking. But, you know, I hope the kid was staying busy. You know, I think he is a bit of a gym rat. So, you know, and it's a big atmosphere for him going over there, Jay. You know, them fights aren't like our fights over here in L.A. or in New York. I mean, they draw 40,000 people or whatever it is. I mean, that's a big stage for Spence.
Humongous, just the cheers, and I can't even imagine what it sounds like. The biggest fight that I've ever gone to was when Floyd fought Canelo, and just the sound in there, just walking out to the arena on the day of the weigh-in. So imagine that multiplied. The MGM holds what, like 15,000? Imagine that multiplied times 4 or 5 or 6, and they're not cheering for you, Errol Spence. But he's a young, strong kid. He seems mentally tough whenever he steps out there. So, but it is something to think about when you're a young guy.
Yep. Well, good fight that was made. Look, I want to give you guys a friendly reminder. Canelo Alvarez and Julio Cesar Chavez, they begin their 4-stop international press tour today. All of their events are open to the public. Today they're in Mexico City at TV Azteca Ajusto at 2 o'clock. So if you're in Mexico City, check them out. Tomorrow they're in New York at the Hard Rock Cafe. The fan arrival time is 12 p.m. Thursday, they're in Houston, Texas at the Minute Maid Park at 12 o'clock, fan arrival. And this Friday, they're in L.A. at Plaza Mexico. Fan arrival 2 o'clock. Fan fiesta begins at 5. Jay, you going to be there on Friday?
I'll be out there at Plaza Mexico, and I love going out there. It's a really cool area. I hope L.A. has had enough of the rain so we can really, really enjoy it. But, yes, your girl will be in the house. So if you see me, come talk to me. Maybe we could do some jaywalking, pose some questions, and we'll have all these knowledgeable boxing fans in the house.
All right. Well, make sure you follow Jay at Jeandra LaBeouf on Twitter so that you can keep up to date with everything happening in LA this Friday. So the lines are open. We want to take your calls today. It's been way too long. 718-508-9852. Press 1. That's how we know that you want to come on, speak your piece. There's so much. You know, there was Browne Granados this weekend and some other fights. So, Jay, why don't we start off with the weekend fight recap?
Let's do it.
That were on Showtime Saturday night. Let's punch in. The first 2 fights were a little bit weird. Okay, another reason why inactivity is such a curse and this, random matchmaking. So the telecast started out with Marcus Browne knocking out Thomas Williams Jr., our buddy Top Dog. It was a really rough fight to watch. The ref was terrible. Browne was fouling left and right. In the second round, Marcus Browne hit Top Dog while he was down in the back of the head. Top Dog never recovered from that. He was not okay. I felt Marcus Browne should have been DQ'd at that time. Top Dog was totally discombobulated since round 2. It was just a really weird fight.
It was. And Top Dog was prepared for the fight, but I'm of the feeling if you hit a man in the back of the head while he's down, that's an automatic disqualification. We've seen people, did he even receive a point deduction or just a little stern warning? You hit the man in the back of the head and it resulted in him taking the full 5 minutes to recover, as it should, but no other admonishment, and you can't recover from that. A temple shot is a disastrous shot, but a legal shot, but a shot completely in the back of your head completely messed up Top Dog's momentum and fight game of what potentially could have been a great explosive fight. Marcus Browne landed some big punches, but it's hard to really calibrate how well he did considering how he started off by hitting Top Dog in the back of the head when he was down. So I have no respect for Marcus Browne. I have no respect for that referee. The whole thing was screwed up. I didn't enjoy it, and we'll see what the aftermath is from Top Dog, Marcus Browne versus Top Dog. But no kudos over here, none over here, bruh. Zero.
Yeah.
Unsportsman and disgusting. And then afterwards, no real remorse. Just, I thought he was down, so I hit him again. Make sure he stayed down. What an asshole.
Yeah, listen, all I could think about when that happened was Pritchard Colon. That's really what I thought about, and I was so worried for Top Dog. And I instantly knew he suffered a concussion. I could tell in his eyes. He never got his legs back. That punch to the back of the head when he was down severely, severely hurt him. We're going to get an update a little later from Jake Donovan on the show on how Top Dog is doing today. So stay tuned. Jake will be on a little later and give us some updates on Top Dog. But, yeah, rough fight to watch. What's next for Marcus Browne? He called out Adonis Stevenson. Is he worth a fight with Adonis? I mean, what has he done to deserve that fight?
Not a damn thing, man. Not a damn thing. And I'm not the biggest fan of Adonis, but this will probably be one time where I'm like, please knock his ass out, Adonis Stevenson. Adonis Stevenson, I'll probably take this fight. He has some trouble inking some deals, but he'll take this fight, and I'll be watching him.
Quick miss.
and I'll be enjoying Marcus Browne getting knocked out. So we'll wait for it.
So the other fight, the co-main, was Lamont Peterson. He edged out David Avesian to become a 2-division champion. Lamont Peterson won by unanimous decision. He wore a pair of Speedos in the ring. I think Paulie Malignaggi called him the Ray Robinson Retros. Yo, his legs, Jay.
Wow. I never thought I'd see that much of his legs in my life, ever.
Well, look, it was good to see Peterson back. Welcome back. I'm sure we'll see him again in about 2 years. That's how he gets down. But you know what? He looks to be in dog-ass shape. I can't take that away from him. I think someone on the telecast said that he runs like 27 miles. And I didn't know if that was like a day or a week, or I don't know what they meant by that. But he's in his 30s now, and he had a body of like a 22-year-old. And I just want his legs. And, yeah, what do you think about the fight?
The fight, it started off a little sketchy, but once he settled into a rhythm, he clearly dominated the fight and just picked Avanesian apart. A great win for Peterson to put himself back in the mix. He picks up another title. I was really amused at how much time was spent on Avanesian's win over Shane Mosley. Come on, kids. Yes, he defeated Shane Mosley, but we're not talking about Shane Mosley that was fighting Oscar De La Hoya. We're talking about Shane Mosley now, who spends days on social media playing with a monkey. So you got to respect any guy who steps in the ring, and Shane is definitely the legend, and all respect to Shane, but they hyped it up a little bit too much. So it was good to see Peterson get the decisive win, and he didn't just skate through it and barely eke a win by. He won like he should have won.
Yeah, and again, it was a little bit of a weird fight to watch. I can't say that it was very entertaining or fun. It was just, I wanted it to be over. I kind of wish it was a 10-rounder at that point. Right.
It did what it needed to do. It killed time.
So let's go to the main attraction, which was Adrien Broner versus Adrian Granados. Adrien Broner defeated Granados via split decision. Little controversy there. It was a good scrap. This is what happens when you match up fighters equally. You get good fights. So, yes, you heard me right. Broner is on the same level as Granados. Granados is on Broner's level. Broner is not an A-level fighter, and Granados is a C-level. No. That was a 50-50 fight.
Yes, it was.
Sorry to hurt anybody's feelings out there. That is Broner's level. He can beat average guys. I would call them like B plus C fighters, right, Jay? I mean, that's being nice.
I think that's being cool. You give up your ability to be distinguished as an elite fighter when you stop making weight. When you have to stop and switch around and this weight and that weight, then you're not elite, because elite athletes come prepared and ready and make weight all the time. So a B, I think you're being very generous. His skills, yes. B, yes. We give him about a B. Yeah, good, strong B.
A C. Yeah, strong B, C. I got a little soft spot for Granados. I did have him winning the fight 6-4. I would have been okay with a draw. How can you not like Granados? He hasn't gotten a fair shake in a really long time. I'll watch him any day. He's a professional. He trains hard. He makes weight. He did a lot of good things in there. He's tough as nails. It goes to show you records don't matter.
Right.
His best fight weight is at 140. He held his own. The fight went from 142 to 147. We'll talk to Jake Donovan in a couple minutes here about all that mess that was going on behind the scenes. But he doesn't get a lot of fair shakes, and it's just a shame. No.
It is. And hopefully this will be he'll get another opportunity to get out there, or he feels encouraged to even continue. When he spoke with us previously, he mentioned, being on the verge of wanting to quit and just walking away from the sport because he had been jerked around so many times. He just wanted his opportunity. He did not get the outcome that he wanted. He came up a little short in the fight against Broner, but it will be interesting to see if he sticks around because he's earned his place. He makes for entertaining TV. I mean, come on. Some fights we've seen recently we could have done without. So Granados getting another fight is not the end of the world, and I think that's a good look for him and for us as fans.
Yeah, when you cheat the grind, it will tell on you inside of the ring. And we knew Broner was cheating the grind. He wasn't really training the way he should have been or preparing. I mean, throughout the fight, we saw him holding and pushing and clinching and forearming. And he needed oxygen at the end of round 2. At the end of the fight, they needed to bring him an oxygen tank. I mean, mouth wide open, totally cheated the grind. He could beat mid-level guys, but no way would he even come close to beating the winner of Thurman Garcia.
Hell
Not
no.
no way, right?
Nah, not happening. Broner, he's been keeping a low profile, and I will give him kudos for that. He's not out in the streets as much as what we can see. But you still, even if you're nesting, you still have to train. He's chilling. He's got kids. He got his lady. He is chilling. He needs to train. 140 is a thing of the past for him unless he just has a complete Inyala Van Zant fix my life moment. Because this 142, 145, 147 is not working for him. Fix his life. Somebody fix it, Jesus.
He can't make 140, and he's too small for 147, but all it takes is discipline. And I'm so tired of us having to talk about this after all of his fights. But here's the bottom line, is that hate it or love it, Adrien Broner's fights are entertaining. And you're going to watch him. You're going to tune in. There's not many stars in boxing, and he is probably one of them. He does high ratings, and a lot of people do know him. I think this is the perfect time, Jay, to make Broner Pacquiao.
Oh, yeah. Pacquiao
what's
tweeted
Broner
during the fight.
Do? Oh, he did?
He sure did. During the fight, either the Good Senator or somebody running the Good Senator social media tweeted, "Wow, what a fight. Who do you think won the fight?" I tweeted him back. I said, "Who you think won the fight, Senator?" Why you all on your Twitter like that?
Oh. Well, at the end of the fight, Broner said he fought 9 rounds with a broken hand. He also said he's going to take his career more seriously and he's going to be more positive. He apologized to everyone. He apologized to the kids. And he wants to be a better father figure. We've heard this before.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop your fucking lying.
Okay.
Perfect
right.
timing, Jay.
All right.
Missing at the fight was Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
The boxing scene, Floyd Mayweather must have called AB and said that his plane was having some mechanical complications, so he had to chill and fall back. But really, he was chilling in New Orleans, where he was attending all the NBA All-Star Weekend festivities. He even had a Saturday night that he was hosting in New Orleans for his upcoming 40th birthday. So, poor Broner, once again, stop. There ain't no big bro, little bro love.
Right, because, God forbid Floyd does not have access to another plane, because we know he just absolutely can't find another plane. Floyd ain't nothing with you, Broner. It's all right, though. Just be your own man. Be your own man. Run about billions and handle your stable.
Yeah, well, let's take it to let's bring on Jake Donovan. He is our boxing correspondent from FightNights.com, and he was actually out in Cincinnati during fight week, and he's going to bring us all the tea from out there.
Yes, he is.
All right, next up on Hotline Bling, we have boxing correspondent for FightNights.com, Jake Donovan. Good morning, Jake.
Good morning, Reggie Babe. Good morning, Jake.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
Oh, it's long overdue. I'm really honored to be back on the show.
Yeah, we took our own little hiatus over here too, and we're back in full effect, and no better way to start off this Monday than talking with Jake Donovan about all of the chaos and all of the happenings out in Cincinnati for Broner Granados. And I must say, Jake, that this fight was a problem from the beginning. There was a date change, then there was some weight changes, and then there was some round changes. Can you start from the very beginning and let us know the deal on this fight?
Yeah, I guess we'll start it back to when Adrian Granados revealed, and for the record, he revealed, I think, a few days early, or I think he was supposed to, about the weight. The fight was supposed to be at 142-pound catch weight, And then somewhere along the way, Adrien Broner decided he just didn't want to make that weight, that he's a welterweight. So he let Granados know. And my understanding was he didn't get paid a lot of money, to change the weight. But Granados leaked it out on a conference call. I guess he was mad because, he just agreed to the fight. He saw the opportunity more so than the dollar amount. But I guess he said, I'm not getting paid. I'm just going to make myself the story. So he told all the reporters on the conference call, hey, now this guy wants to change the weight. He wants to, Granados is a 140-pound fighter. So he was already agreeing to fight, a little bit above his natural weight. So, he was upset that he had to, give in to Broner's demand just to make the fight happen, just because he didn't want to lose the opportunity. And then just all the nonsense with fight week, and then trying to, he was on weight. You could see when he got to the weigh-in on Friday, he was definitely on point. He was even bragging. He's like, I don't care if it was 142, 147, I'm going to make weight. Next thing you know, he jumps on the scale, man, now he's 1 pound over. It's like, I will say, though, as bad as About Billions has been with the past 2 weeks of promotions, and we're going to get to that a little later, this one is on the Ohio State Athletic Commission. They got a lot of new people in there. And I'm going to tell you my own experience with them, with the Robert Easter fight a week before. I was trying to confirm the rules for anything that wasn't a non-title fight. I got 3 different people telling me it's my first week here. I don't know the rules. We're going to have to get back to you on that. I'm like, aren't you having fighter meetings, with the fighters who aren't fighting for a title? It's like, aren't they supposed to know the rules? And someone in the room has to know the rules. I didn't get it until like an hour before the show began, my confirmation that I needed. So that's how disorganized this group is. So then they came to the weigh-in with the wrong scale, and then it almost seemed like they were trying to shame Granados at first. But then when Lamont Peterson came on the scale, who's like the constant gym rat, everyone knows, Lamont is always on weight. The guy's in shape every day of his life. When he came in a half a pound heavy, they're like, okay, now we know something's up. And then when Avanesian got on the scale and he was also over, that's when the commission realized they just had an uncalibrated scale.
Is Broner the only one that weighed in on
that's the irony.
That scale?
That's the irony. Yeah, Broner was a half a pound under, so really he was, I guess, 145 and a half now because everyone else was a pound over. But let me rewind just a tad bit because a lot of people are saying, well, why didn't Granados ask for more? Why didn't he fight harder? Why did he give in? At this point, there was nothing he could do. He don't have the luxury of saying, well, I'm not going to fight and miss out on the opportunity and the paycheck. It was either shut up and fight or don't fight and you get no check. So I want people to understand that, he didn't really have a lot of bargaining room. And, Jake, when did it go from 12 rounds to 10 rounds? I must have missed that. I don't think that was ever a change. I think it was just a misunderstanding. I guess because it was a Showtime Championship Boxing event, everyone assumed, it's Showtime Championship Boxing, it's a 12-round championship fight. The problem was there was no title at stake, and I don't think the Ohio State Athletic Commission was willing to make it a 12-round fight without any belt at stake. But my understanding was all along was that it was a 10-round fight. I don't know if that was just bad information that was given to Granados, but he claims he didn't know until the day before the fight that it was 10 rounds. I'm like, well, that's something you need to talk to your managers about. Because Showtime had advertised it for at least a month that it was a 10-round fight. It just seems weird that they had a 10-round main event. The last 10-round main event I can remember on Showtime Championship Boxing was when Broner fought Emmanuel Taylor. So no belt.
Broner's been a Broner.
Yeah, Broner's
that
been a
guy
Broner,
must
indeed.
have something on everybody, I swear, because he gets away with everything.
Okay, well, this is where I'm going to, leak a little bit of stuff. So, this is where the hotline comes into play. You get a little bit of word on the curb, if you will. Right. My understanding was that this was About Billions, first. I mean, last week they had the major promotion, but they had a lot of help. And big shout out to Brittany Grusin, Tom Browne, and the TGB Promotions family because they really bailed them out the past 2 weeks. It's the stuff they do just flies way under the radar. But Al wants, About Billions. They think they want to be a real promoter. Al's like, all right, well, you guys are on your own. You have to learn how to do this on your own. And they just don't have the infrastructure. I mean, just stuff as basic as, getting insurance for a show, just making sure everyone's licensed. Just having people in the right room at the right time. It's just, they need to be, more structured. It's, they're not following the lead of all these other promoters who have been assisting them with the shows. Instead, they're just leaving them to do all the legwork. So that just adds to the chaos that's been really the past 2 weeks. And that's the frustrating part. It's been 2 weeks in a row where it's been About Billions events. And, they're trying to bring big-time boxing back to Ohio. And the fans are responding, but it's just so disorganized, and it can't keep going on like this. And especially for a show like this, getting back to Granados not accepting a lot of money, there just wasn't a lot of money in the budget. So, again, it was just Granados not wanting to lose the opportunity. That he thought he could beat Adrien Broner. He's like, there's a big name, one of the biggest names in the sport. he believed he could beat him, and he came very close to beating him. So he thought he could get this win and then cash in on a rematch somewhere. So I guess that's why he took short money.
Yeah, I'm a little confused on why anyone would think that About Billions Promotions could handle a show like this. That's like strike one. Jay, what do you got for Jake?
Here's a question that's been bothering me. Today in social media, Adrien Broner posted a picture of a check, and he kind of just redacted some of the information. It's drawn on About Billions, and it's written to himself, but you own About Billions. The check is to you. Why is the check post dated? Because I know how much money I have in my bank account at any given time. And if I'm the boss, even if there's a board of directors, if you're writing a check from you to you, why would you have to post date the check?
It's very weird.
Is that standard?
I don't believe that's standard, not for an event like this. Usually how it's supposed to work is that the promoter fills out all the checks and they give it to the commission. The commission is actually supposed to be the one to hand out the paychecks to all the fighters at the end of the night, because that guarantees the fighters get paid. Because I've seen many shows where fighters, and RB, I'm sure you've seen this on the club circuit, guy shows up for a 4-round, $500, fight. He fights, he gets the wraps off. Next thing you know, the guy who's supposed to pay him is already gone.
Yep.
So that's why the
commission collects that. Yep.
Yeah,
right.
And this is 2 weeks in a row where I see, a representative from About Billions sitting there handwriting checks, which, these are supposed to be cashier's checks. They're supposed to be certified. I don't know if I'm treading into dangerous waters, but there is a good reason why that check is post-dated, because, I think Adrien wants to make sure he gets paid. He can't bounce any more checks. And I'm going to stop right there.
He can't bounce any more checks.
AB always
more checks.
AB always bouncing.
Look, I heard the level of incompetence was on another level out there. It's not easy. So how did you score the fight? Let's talk about the fight itself. It was a close fight. It was a good fight.
It was a very close fight. I had a dead even 95-95. I thought if there was going to be a winner that Adrien Broner would have gotten a close decision, like a 96-94, which one of the judges did have it. I thought 97-93 in either direction was just off. Adrien Broner did not win 7 rounds, and Adrian Granados, I know in his heart he thought he won the fight. I'm not even sure he won 6 rounds, never mind 7. Mm-hmm. So I'd have been content with a draw, but even the way Granados' own team put it, Granados looked better in defeat than Adrien Broner did in victory. This is almost a win for Granados. He's got a big fight coming up for him in the future, and God bless him, because, he's trying to fight for Chicago.
We hope so.
He wants to bring a big fight out there, just, get these kids, just stop shooting each other, man, get in the gym and just try to bring something positive to that city. So,
but listen, Jake, when he beat Amir Aman, the big fight didn't come. And now he finally got another big fight with Broner. And, do you think he'll get another opportunity in another big fight? He's been shafted a couple times. He's not gotten the fair shake a couple times.
Yeah, he's been shafted a lot, and the problem is he's never had real representation. Now he has TGB Promotions behind him, so they're not going to let him fail. They're going to make sure he gets that, next shot. And as I just said, TGB Promotions, they're the ones that have been behind the scenes saving a lot of PBC shows lately. Mm-hmm. They have all these promoters who, thinking they want to get paid too, but you got to put in the legwork. And, Brittany Gruson, she has a 3-person team that's, just getting stuff done that, full companies they just are completely unaware of. So, I definitely think Adrian Granados is going to remain in the mix. He's going to get a big fight, and he's a tough out for anyone. Felix Diaz, who is all of a sudden the boogie, been calling out Terrence Crawford, and he's right up there with the best 140, 47 pounders. He's always said Adrian Granados has been the toughest guy he's ever fought, amateur or pro, and that's including Sandy. So,
So at the post-fight press conference, was there one?
Yes, there was. It was just Adrian Granados and Adrien Broner.
Okay, and I was going to say, did you get a chance to talk to Granados? How was he feeling? How were his spirits?
Right after the fight, we saw on air he was mad, just about all the way everything changed. That, he was mad about the scale. He was mad about the rounds changing from 12 to 10. He seemed a little more calm at the press conference. He still believed he won, and I think his frustrating part is he pointed out every time he lost. And I pointed this out, actually. Every loss he has is either by split decision or majority decision. It's been like a coin flip, decision, but they've gotten a chance at redemption. And that's his frustration here. He would love to fight Adrien Broner again, but he doesn't believe he's going to get a rematch. So now the question is, well, what fight is next? So that's what he was focused on. He wants Adrien Broner to give him another shot.
That's not going to happen. I mean, Hot Rod.
Probably not going to happen.
Hot Rod. Look what happened with Hot Rod and Marcus Browne, and he didn't get it. Now let's switch gears a little bit. I know that you are close with Thomas Top Dog Williams. You know, he took a really bad hit to the back of the head Saturday night. You know, after that point, I thought he was completely done. I believe you were the one that reported that he has a broken jaw and he had to get emergency surgery on Sunday.
Yeah, they had to rush him right to the hospital. It was actually like late Saturday night. He left I think he was gone from the arena even before the Lamont Peterson fight finished. They took him to the hospital. He had to get his jaw wired shut. He seemed to be in as good a spirits as he could have been. You know, that's just Top Dog's nature. You know, he's one of the realest guys in the game. But yeah, it was just a really bad situation because, you know, from the blow to the back of the head, he never really recovered from that. Then he had to take the damage to the jaw. So it was a really, really rough night for Top Dog. And my understanding is that he's out of the hospital, but they're going to have to keep him in Cincinnati because he can't fly for a few days due to the treatment he's getting. So
yeah, that's our buddy too. All right. Well, Jakey, thank you so much for joining us on the Morning Punchin' Show. Listen, guys, you can follow Jake at JakeN_V2. He is the boxing correspondent and writer for FightNights.com. And, Jake, you will be in Birmingham, Alabama, correct, for Wilder, Washington?
Yes, I will.
All right, so make sure you follow him for all the updates out there, and hopefully we can get him on next Monday and talk about all the juice out there in Birmingham, too. Thank you so much, Jake.
Always my pleasure. You can have me on any Monday you want.
All right. Have a good Monday. Right. Yay. Bye.
All right. Thanks.
If you want the best, BoxStats beats the rest. BoxStats is the best boxing app for all you boxing enthusiasts and professional boxers. Perform a quick search and get all the info you want and need. BoxStats, available on the Apple App Store. Download it for free today. BoxStats, know your opponent.
All right. Jake Donovan, thank you so much for joining us this morning and bringing us all that good stuff. We're going to wait for, I think we actually have Hot Rod in the queue. As we all know, Hot Rod had fought Marcus Browne. Let's bring him on. Hot Rod.
Hey, how's it going?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Good. Thanks for joining us. Listen, you joined us a couple months ago. You won our Stick Up of the Year award because you had fought Marcus Browne back in April, and it was a very questionable decision. And it was a hometown cooking. You know, you were dominating that fight, and there was a lot of fouling and holding and moving in there. And we just watched Marcus Browne fight Top Dog on Saturday night, and there seems to be a lot of the same thing that happened in your fight. Did you watch the fight, and what would you like to share with us, your views on that?
Yeah, I watched the fight, and after I believe the second round, he did the same thing he did to me. I was down, and so was Top Dog Williams, and he hit him. He has a bad habit of doing that. I believe he's a dirty fighter because he clearly seen both of us down, and then he punched us. But in the fight, I believe they picked the right guy, Thomas Williams, for Marcus Browne. Because Marcus Browne is not that good. He just looked good with Top Dog because Top Dog just comes forward, doesn't move or box. And I don't know how he can continue to call out Williams, but he won't give me my rematch. I don't know how him and his team could continue like that, knowing they lost that fight in their heart.
Yeah, it was hard to watch, especially a hit to the back of the head like that. Have you tried to reach out to Marcus Browne? Have you had any words with him, especially after that Top Dog fight?
Yeah, actually I have. I wrote him, and I believe he blocked me off his social media.
What?
Yeah.
That's weak.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
That night of the fight, I called him out, and he blocked me.
I mean, realistically, when you fought him, it was for, some type of graduation day. And then he goes on and does the same thing with Top Dog, and then he calls out Adonis Stevenson. Do you think he deserved to fight with Adonis Stevenson?
No, he doesn't. He just, like I said, he looked okay Saturday. He didn't even look that good. It's just Top Dog was right there for him and it made him look all right. If we fight, I'd stop him. If we have a rematch.
Realistically, you think you'll get that rematch? Realistically?
I don't know. I believe he's going to try to stay away from me because his punches didn't have no effect on me. I was hurting him every time I punched him. He can't hurt. He doesn't hit hard. And I got just as good as moving at him. I'm fast, and I'm there. And I took his heart away. He has no heart. If Williams would have connected one time and hurt Browne, the fight would have won the whole differently. Williams just didn't move his feet, and he's not as fast. He's not as fast as me, so he couldn't hurt him. But if he would have hurt him in that fight, the whole fight would have changed. Marcus Browne has no heart.
Yeah, and I think Saturday night during the Top Dog fight, I think we could all agree that he probably should have been disqualified. And look, I don't have any personal vendetta against Marcus Browne, but the guy was clearly down. He hit him hard on the back of the head. We all seen what happened with Pritchard Colon last year by, getting hit in the back of the head and the Fallon. Top Dog never recuperated after that. You could tell his legs were gone. His eyes weren't there. I mean, at that point, he was fighting off of pure instinct. I don't even know how he lasted a few more rounds.
I know. Just that heart. He's a dog. And also, when the referee started counting, I was like, here we go. Same thing with me. But then the referee, I don't know what happened, but the referee stopped and then stopped counting and then took a point away. So that was good.
Yeah. Well, listen, what's up next for you? Anything lined up that you could share with us?
Well, I just had surgery on my hand, so I'm out for a couple months. My tendon of my right middle knuckle went to the side, and I had a hole in my knuckle, so they had to put my tendon back in place, tighten it up, and I had a lot of scar tissue, and they filled that hole up. So now I'm just recovering, doing therapy.
Oh. Well, listen, get better, get stronger. Text me when you get something lined up so that we could make sure that we get you back on the show.
Okay, thank you. And I wish my next fight would be Marcus Browne. I don't need a tune-up fight. Not for him.
I heard that.
We'll put that out there for you, too. All right, have a good Monday. Have a good week. Thank you, Hot Rod.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ooh, he said he is ready, because if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Shout out to Hot Rod.
Woo. All right. He said, I don't need a tune-up.
Nothing. He ready tonight. I'm just so amused by the fact that he was blocked on Facebook. That's not gangster. Who does that?
Right.
Like Hot Rod is just this infamous troll out there disrespecting his mama, his Mima, and everybody else. I'm gonna block you on Facebook. Take that in. That's so cornball. See, my respect just diminishes even more and more for Marcus Browne as the hours pass.
Real talk. You're supposed to be from, like, Brooklyn or Bronx,
right?
Son. Come on.
You're going to hold it down.
Yeah, so the lines are open, 718-508-9852. If you want to speak to RB Jae, press 1, and that's how we know that you'd like to chat with us. Jay, is there anyone in the queue that wants to dish anything on Adrian Granados or anything else?
I see folks. Oh, we got somebody, one break, so let's bring them on. Good morning, block number. You are on with RB and Jae. Who is this, and where are you calling from?
Hey, Miss J, RB, what's going on, y'all?
Good morning.
It's Blu-ray. What's going on?
Yay!
Blu-ray. We back. You know, I had to come support y'all, talk some boxing talk. It was a pretty interesting week.
Yes, it was.
Very.
Where shall we begin?
Man, so I guess we could continue with the Marcus Browne, man. Like, he hit your boy with something mean, like about 5 seconds after that knockdown. That was kind of crazy.
Terrible.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. It threw him off. Like, I didn't necessarily think Top Dog, had a chance to win, but it definitely kind of threw him off his square. And you know what I mean? Like, after that, he was just complaining about every push and foul, and it was like it just was downhill from there. So, like, hopefully, we could see Hot Rod and Browne again. That would be good. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too. So talk to us a bit about Broner Granados. How'd you score it? How'd you see it?
All right, so I did have AB winning by a point, but like it's difficult, right? Because you got AB, he's supposed to be at 140. He's not physically gifted enough to fight the top guys at 47. So he's kind of stuck in the middle space where, I don't know if he's disciplined enough to make his weight at 140. And, Thurman, Garcia, these guys, they all beat his ass at 47. So, you know, he's stuck in a kind of precarious position. But as far as the fight, man, Granados is a warrior. Like, you can't never take that away from the kid. He's a warrior. It was a, really close, tough fight. And, AB, I was just happy when he bought Kodak Black out. You feel me? Like, that made my night. That made my night right there. But as far as, like, the actual in the ring is like, man, he's just too undisciplined, man, and, I just hope he could kind of, just get it together. I feel like he needs maybe a change of trainer. Maybe just get out of Cincinnati for a little bit and focus up on the boxing tip,
Hey,
well, I think
Mike Stafford has the patience of Job. I know that. He's definitely going to heaven.
Nah, absolutely. But it's like, I think that's his comfort zone. Mike Stafford's been with him since he was, a kid, and you know what I mean? I just think maybe he's too comfortable where he's at. You know what I mean? Maybe he needs to get a training change and just kind of focus up more and do a little more. Like, I just want to see more out of AB. And like I said, I don't like the new Mayweather AB, like the business guy, and like I like the cool
stuttering when he's talking. Like,
yeah. I like the can man.
To a T.
Right.
So do I. I like the can man. I was cool when his dad used to brush his hair. I was cool with that. I kind of thought it was funny, corny. It got him a lot of attention. He could have made his own line of hairbrushes. Like, he could have really capitalized off of that. And then everything just went left. And everything just became such, as I like to call it, buffoonery. We all wanted to see better AB. I remember writing a story on him probably 3-4 years ago. And I'm like, this kid could fight. Like, this kid could rumble. And then he just forgot to train. And he forgot that he still got to put in the work, because it's telling on him in the ring.
Absolutely. No, I agree. I hope that, I hope AB could get it together. And as far as the Peterson fight, like, well, one, like, I was kind of going back and forth between the dunk contest and that, but, like, I think the ref should have took off a point for the shorts that he had on. That's crazy. That's unsportsmanlike conduct right there. Like, come on, man. We can't be wearing those to the ring.
We wear shorts.
Yeah, I was like, nah, they got to take a point off or something, because we can't have that in the ring. So, but
yeah,
good. Exactly. Now, all in all, it was a good weekend, but I want to put this out there right now.
Let's do it.
In 2 weeks, I got Danny Garcia upsetting Keith Thurman. I know I'm in the minority with this. Everybody's going for Thurman, but I got Danny with the upset. So make sure y'all note that. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all note that. I'm putting that out there.
Well, listen, now that you brought up Thurman Garcia, I am rocking with Garcia too. I'm hearing that Angel Garcia does have his hearing this week with the New York State Athletic Commission. They don't think that he's going to get banned. Word on the curb, they don't really think he's going to get banned. He might get a fine or some type of probation. We've already read that Danny is not going to fight if Angel is not in his corner, so I don't think they're going to jeopardize this big of an event. I don't think the New York State Athletic Commission is that stupid. I heard that tickets are moving well. There's a lot of upstairs seats still available, and they just released some more floor ringside seats. So go online to the Barclays Center. They are saying that this should be the biggest economic date at Barclays. So it's probably going to be a really good fight. I'm thinking the New York State Athletic Commission, maybe they should drug test Angel. Maybe that should be.
Oh, Angel's definitely going to feel that. We know what type of time he's on. But, you know what I mean? But, that's going to be a great fight. I'm looking forward to that. I'll actually be in the building at Barclays for that. So I'm, looking forward to that one. That's going to be a amazing night. And, I'm telling y'all, Danny going to take this upset. What you think, Jay?
I'm very torn. I go back and forth every other week on how I think it's going to play out. So I'm going to wait until we get closer to the fight, and then I'll wager a prediction. I just need to see what they look like closer to fight day. I want to see how distracted Danny is outside the ring, what they're going to do with Angel. I want to make sure that Keith is not in the Prius somewhere. I just need to get closer to fight day to see what exactly is going to happen.
I'm rocking with Danny. I'm rocking with Danny.
Oh, you a
you know,
Philly John. You got to rock with Danny.
but but it's not even that, because him and Angel really have been like really rubbing me. You know what I mean? So it's not even a Philly thing at this point. He finds a way to win. Sometimes it's not pretty, but he's got impeccable timing. People say, oh, he shuts his eyes when he throws his hook. Man, that's timing. He be clocking people with that. So I think we've seen Keith hurt before. We've seen him down before. I've never seen Danny down, and I don't know if Keith is going to be able to put him down. We know that Keith, struggles a little bit to make weight. He got a little bit of baby fat in between fights. So it'll be interesting. Blu-ray Group, thank you so much for calling in. We're going to put you back in the queue. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. It's on and popping in here today. Here's something that's very interesting. We knew Danny Garcia when he was just killing everybody. He just coming out of the woodworks, just beating everybody, stacking his resume with some really good wins. And I can't help but envisioning, what if he goes out there and he beats Keith Thurman to smithereens? What happens then? Who does he fight then? What if Keith Thurman comes out here and beats him to smithereens? Who do they fight next?
I think the only right answer would be Manny Pacquiao, because at this point it's like, who's the last superstar left in our sport now that Floyd is retired? They should want that Manny Pacquiao fight now. So, and I think Terrence Crawford deserves that fight too. But when you're saying, who gets Manny, maybe the winner gets Crawford. I don't know. They gotta go up. They can't go backwards.
I'm so concerned from our sport. When I think about that, it low key makes me a little sad, because it's like, there are no more. Where are the superstars? I could go out right now and do a jaywalking and ask, name me 3 superstars. I'll probably get a Canelo just because of where I live. I live in LA and it's predominantly Black and Hispanic where I live. But if I went some other places, people are going to still say Floyd, Pacquiao. We know they're not going to say Golovkin or Andre Ward, and that's not a diss. That's not a diss at all. Mm-hmm. But they're not globally recognized like Floyd or Manny or even Canelo at this point, or Klitschko, or I could even see people saying Amir Khan before then. And that makes me a little sad about the state of our sport. Who are these guys going to fight? The up-and-coming guys have guys to fight. But anybody who's at the top of the food chain, what then? Anyone else that they fight, it diminishes their legacy. Leo Santa Cruz lucked out with the fight with Carl Frampton, 2 great, evenly matched guys who can run it back, and it's a great fight, and they're classy, and they're gentlemen, and they can take pictures with each other with their kids and still get out there and bang.
Right.
But this is what happens to the welters. The welterweight used to be the glamour division. What's going to happen now? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yes, and they're, talking about the welterweight division, Sean Porter still don't have a fight.
Yeah.
There's been some things circulating that the Andre Berto fight could possibly be made in April or May, that maybe it is getting close. I hope so. I hope the kid gets the fight. A fight like that should not be this hard to make. If you're in the same stable and you have the same management, aka you have the same promoter, why is an Andre Berto versus Sean Porter fight so damn hard to make? So that is what frustrates me. But anyway, Jay, let's move on. We got about 15 minutes left, about a good 12 minutes. Hot topic, 30-day weigh-in for Gennady Golovkin versus Danny Jacobs happened the other day. Golovkin came in at 165.1. Danny Jacobs came in at 174.8. What is Chris Algieri cooking over there, Jay?
What the hell is up with that? 174.8 pounds. That's a lot of weight to lose, and of course he's going to lose it. But do you really want to spend your final days wrapping up camp to fight Gennady Golovkin, trying to beat the scale? Golovkin is 5 pounds out. That's nothing. He'll go out there and run in the mountains of Big Bear, been cold, put a few layers on, and he's good. Danny Jacobs got the nutritionist, and we getting conference calls, and he's still 174.8 pounds. Is he packing on the muscle, or is he eating good? Has anybody seen? Man.
I'm like, if you 174.8, let's just call it 175. If you're 175 30 days out, what were you 60 days out, kid?
Right.
I mean, that's the part that, you know, and I know a lot of people out there, like some strength and conditioning coaches hit me up, some other people out in Cali, like, nope, you know, he's right on target. He's good. And I'm like, no, Gennady Golovkin is good. He's at 165. He's good. That's good.
Yep, all he has to do is spend these last 30 days with Abel fine-tuning, a little sparring, and he's good. That means he can still eat normally. He will just have no break in what his normal routine is, and that's good because he's a machine. But maybe that's my ignorance of the sport. If people on Twitter want to weigh in who are qualified to weigh in, who can educate us a little bit more on this 30-day out, 174 pounds, it just seems like a lot.
You know what? I'm going to try to get us Victor Conti next week. Let's see if maybe he could chime in on the show. That would be dope because I know Danny Jacobs is part of that whole snack system that Victor Conti has. So stay tuned. We'll try to get Victor Conti next week. In case you missed it, Antonio Margarito, he may be back on April 1st if you care about him still. Roy Jones defeated Bobby Gunn this weekend in Delaware, and he's eyeing retirement. Please, I hope so.
We eyeing it too.
Yeah, we good with that, Roy. Rock Nation is still looking to get Miguel Cotto back in the ring for April or May. No opponent has been named. I'm thinking, why wouldn't it just be Kirkland? I mean, if he got hurt in camp, is he that hurt that he can't fight in April or May? So that's odd to me that now they're looking for an opponent.
Why do they even bother with him? Why do they even bother with James Kirkland at this point?
Let me tell you, when they presented Gabe Rosado with the Kirkland fight for the second time, I think it was like last year, I said to Gabe, pass. That boy is inconsistent. That boy, he ain't right. Don't waste your time. And then sure enough, Kirkland had pulled out of the fight again. I said, I'm telling you, I don't trust that dude. Anyway, Thomas Delorme raised his hand. He said he'd fight Miguel Cotto at a catchweight. Delorme, please. Bye.
Boy, bye.
Islandy Lara is officially a U.S. citizen, in case you missed that. Him and his wife got their American Dream papers last week.
Congratulations.
And in case you missed it, Clarissa Shields is headlining on ShowBox Friday, March 10th from the MGM Grand in Detroit. This fight is for the Women's NABF Middleweight Championship, and it will mark the first time in history that a women's boxing match has headlined on premium television, and it will be the first women's fight on ShowBox. Isn't that awesome?
That's incredible. What's even more incredible is Clarissa Shields is walking around with our medals in our pocketbook. If anybody watched the fight on Saturday night, she told Brian Custer that she carries them in her pocketbook. But when you think about it, who's going to pull up on her? She knock them out. But, girl, go and put them in the safe. Don't carry them around like that. I know you're brave, but put them away.
After announcing that on TV, I would not put them in the pocketbook anymore.
Nah.
Anyway, Jay, you got the fight schedule for this weekend for us?
I sure do. So this week, boxing is in full effect, February 21st. From Houston, PBC on Fox Sports 1. Miguel Flores is headlining against Dat Nguyen with Darwin Price versus Highland Williams in the co-feature. So you can check that out on the 21st on PBC on Fox Sports 1. Skipping to the 24th from Temecula, Mayweather Promotions has a card headlined on, it will be on Showtime, headlined by Chris Pearson versus Justin DeLoach. Also, Saul Rodriguez versus Oscar Bravo, and the usual suspects from Mayweather Promotions, Andrew Tabiti, Gabriel, all them kids, they own the card. So if you're into that, or if you're in LA and you want to go drive out to Temecula and hit the casino and go see the Mayweather promo card, you can. Or if you're at home, you can watch it on Showtime. Also happening, good fight this weekend, happening from Quebec City, but it's on Integrated Sports pay-per-view, so you're going to have to find some other means of watching the fight. We are not advocating publicly that you do. Eliander Storm Alvarez versus Lucien Boutte in a WBC light heavyweight eliminator. So could the winner of this potentially set up a fight with Andre Ward, I couldn't say with a straight face. But it is a WBC light heavyweight eliminator fight, so watch for that. Look for it from north of the border if you're into it. Of course, big fight this weekend from Birmingham, Alabama, PBC on Fox and Fox Sports 1. Deontay Wilder versus Gerald Washington for Wilder's WBC title. Tony Harrison versus Jarrett Hurd. I like Jarrett Hurd. That's another good fight there for the vacant IBF junior middleweight title. Dominic Breazeale is on the card versus Izugbe Ugonna for the heavyweight bout, and Caleb Plant on the card too versus Thomas Awimbono. It's a full card. It's going to be a long day. If you're in Birmingham, you can still buy tickets to the fight. You got a good stack card happening down there. If not, watch it on PBC on Fox Sports 1. RB and I will be in full effect on Twitter, so make sure you rock with us during that fight because you know we get live.
Yeah, we do. I love the Tony Harrison-Jarrett Hurd fight. But I want to talk a little bit about this Wilder-Washington fight because it does worry me a little bit. I think Washington is actually a harder fight for Wilder than his original guy. And I think Washington is very athletic and he's really big and he knows the opportunity that he has in front of him. And I think he's really going to try to seize the moment. So I think, and I hope that Wilder has kind of like really dedicated himself to training and maybe he stopped turning up a little bit. You know, social media tells on people left and right. And I'm a little worried for Deontay in this fight, Jay.
I'm worried about that hair. I'm so mad at that hair that I've seen him rocking. I'm going to start calling him Deontay Derulo because I can't with the hair. Does he sleep with a bonnet on it at night? Does it feel heavy when you're training? I'm not feeling it. it. I like Deacon Wilder, but I'm not feeling the hair.
Yeah, he got a weave and all types of stuff. So anyway, big week of boxing. We look forward to chatting with you. Make sure you follow Jay closely this week as she will be at the Canelo Chavez press tour in LA this Friday. But I think it's a wrap, Jay. Visit badculture.net.com, ravingbabe.com. We appreciate you guys for listening. Catch us every Monday morning right here on the Morning Punch-In Show from 8 to 9. Thank you for making us a part of your day. It's a wrap. RB and Jay, we're out.